Cameron, your former boss, Bill Shorten, as I've said repeatedly, has always been a very strong ally of Israel and the Jewish community here in Australia. I want to get your reaction to Penny Wong today admitting that she's not going to visit the sites where Jewish families were slaughtered on October 7.
It's an appalling decision, Sharri. An appalling decision. A complete lack of judgement would be a nice way of saying it. But Penny Wong is premeditated in this action. She's putting out all the message about being pro-Palestinian and pro-this, pro-that. Hamas are a terrorist organisation who went across the border and slaughtered people. No wonder she doesn't want to go and see the site of this tragedy, because that would actually mean that Israel's self-defence, which we all believe in, Israel's self-defence in this situation, is paramount. But no, Penny wants to set this up as a ceasefire between two warring parties. I have a huge problem with her not going to the site of this. You have foreign ministers from around the world going to. You had the Chancellor from Germany visit the site. Well, Penny Wong can work her way down there to see what actually happened on October 7 with her own eyes. And then she might have a different attitude to the sort of kind of pro-Palestinian position she's taking around Hamas.
Look, Bronwyn, I know you mentioned this before, criticised Penny Wong already for not going to have a look at the sites, but it does seem that she's making this show of going to Israel because we all demanded that she should go to Israel. But what we were demanding was a trip showing solidarity with Israel right in the wake of the terror attacks, like many other world leaders and foreign ministers did. That's not the trip she's going on now.
Of course it's not, because they are committed to the pro-Palestinian position while trying to pretend that they're in favour of Israel's right to defend itself. Now, her refusal to go to that place of slaughter and torture just says so much about her. It says it's devious because she's pretending it's a proper visit, but in refusing to do it, she is signalling to the pro-Palestinian people in Australia who are living in Labor seats that Labor seats are more important to this government than taking a principled position. And people have to remember that. There is nothing proper about her behaviour in this at all. And it is so easy to see through it because it's so disingenuous. And so I think the Australian people do see through that. And I can only say the leadership needs to come from the Prime Minister. It needs to be him that takes the strong, principled position that says Israel has the right to demand the hostages back, that it has the right to say that Hamas committed an appalling act of terror upon Israeli citizens.
Yeah, no, exactly. Cameron, I mean, we're seeing something similar play out in left-wing politics globally, particularly in the United States. You know, how do you think this issue will impact Labor's votes in marginal seats at the next election? You know, particularly places like Western Sydney.
Well, and you see Tony Burke out there as well, you know, allowing sort of, inflammatory speeches being given in his electorate, and he doesn't speak out against them until the very end. So there's a real problem there. But I go to Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer has ejected Jeremy Corbyn, who was the cult hero of Anthony Albanese and an anti-Semite, from the Labor Party. So the Labor Party can deal with this. I mean, Keir Starmer has actually stood up against the anti-Semitic forces in the Labor Party in the UK and has expelled them and gone back and embraced the British Jewish community. He's even as opposition leader. So it can be done by the left of politics if you want to. But the more sinister problem, I think, here is that parts of the Labor left actually don't want Israel. They want Palestine. And that's now coming out. Their true colours are showing, regrettably.
Yeah, I think that is what we're seeing. Cameron Milner, Bronwyn Bishop, thank you both so much for your time tonight.